Oh, good morning. Look at this beautiful. This first thing in the morning. I guess if I gotta climb up a hill as soon as I roll out of my bed in the morning, this is not a bad view to walk up on. This is what today looks like. Pretty in its own right. Good morning, everybody. It is day 8. I'm gonna go across this stream that I just showed you just a second ago. And if I fall, it'll be good live video, huh? But yeah, so I stayed in my first shelter last night. I stayed in Low Gap shelter, and I was just gonna stay at the shelter and stay in my tent because that's what I prefer. I just have privacy. I can stretch. I can, sleep however I'm comfortable based on the temperatures. And but it was gonna rain last night, and it sure as hell did in the middle of the night. This loud thunder boom. I think I flew off of my pad about 5 feet in the air. It was so loud. So I'm glad that I chose to do that for a number of reasons. One, I'm not carrying a soaking wet tent up hills today. I'm heading to Unicoi Gap, and I'm gonna take a 0 tomorrow. They're calling for 50-mile-an-hour winds. Stuff starting later today, so I did 9.3 yesterday, which is my biggest day. I got 9.8 today to get to Unicoi Gap, to get that shuttle to my room, and then I'm just gonna 0 tomorrow and stay out of I can walk in the rain, I don't mind it. 50-mile-an-hour winds out in the mountains is just not safe, so either need to hunker down in a shelter and wait for it to blow over, but I just figured, you know what? 2 almost 10-mile days. I'll just take a 0 and kind of get reorganized, give myself a little pampering. I do need some food and decide where I'm gonna go next. So it's rainy and crappy today, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to video. Plus I'm gonna be trying to book it to make it to Unicoi before dark, because I'm still about a mile an hour, and that includes breaks and everything, but still a mile an hour. So doing 9.8, that's a 10-hour day. I started at 8. So yeah, I would like to get there before dark. So yeah, so let's do this today. So look at this tree. I don't know if you see this, but I'm gonna come in a little closer. So this tree fell over. I see the top that way. But look at all the rock. You see the slabs of rock that it just grew. That's kind of cool and crazy at the same time. I mean, you don't get to see this very often from this perspective, so I had to stop. That's crazy looking. All right, y'all, let's get back to it. Look at this. So we are, I'm about a half mile up the hill from Poplar tent site. There's a campsite, and almost to the first real water source. It was 2.4 in after Low Gap shelter. But look at how this is. I think this is only my second green tunnel, but how pretty is this? Real pretty this morning. Everything's wet, but it is beautiful. Nature's fountain right there. I can honestly say that every day is probably a beautiful day to take a walk on the Appalachian Trail. So it's pretty, and I'm going to tell you, it smells so good in here, even with nothing blooming. It smells, I can't describe it, but it's not flowers because there's no flowers, but it smells good. All right, cranking them out today. So this morning was dry. You can see behind me how it's changed. Socked in all around. Getting ready to climb up to a gap and have some lunch. But yeah, so if you're wanting to do this, I'm gonna turn around for a few minutes before I put my phone back away. Yeah, so if you've dreamed of, and I knew this was coming, but it's been too nice for a week, but if you're wanting to do this, sometimes this is how you're going to be spending 8 or 10 hours of your day. It's all good though. It's beautiful still. Alright y'all, so I just came from there. It's completely white a minute ago. And I am at Chattahoochee Gap, just having a quick lunch. And the Jack's Gap Trail intersects it. So, but I just had to, I was having some lunch and I just turned around and look at this. I see the clouds and you can see the mountains peeking over above the clouds. And every once in a while, when I'm standing here, the clouds are just like blowing right through me onto the other side, because I'm kind of on a ridge line up here. So, I mean, this is why sometimes you gotta slow down, turn around, and look behind you, because you never know what you're gonna see. Yeah, that's the trail. Yes, this is part of the trail that I'm walking today. Hey everyone, so I apologize if some cars go by, but I just wanted to let you know. When you come down into Unicoi Gap, see, I know you won't be able to see the trail, but you're going to come down and along and along and along and down till you see that little green sign over there, hiker crossing. And then you're going to run across the street, and I'm actually waiting for a shuttle right now, so I'm not continuing on. But if you were continuing on, you are going to want to cross the street, because then you're going to go in that direction to get back onto the AT, just so you don't think that you have to go back up there on your way back. So I just wanted to let you know. But here you go. Here's a shot. Nobody in here today, not on this beautiful day.